Okay, this video is for Davin D's, who's looking to quickly develop U9 players, and they get scared with the ball that goes into the air, right? He wants to develop their touch and their confidence, and he only gets an hour with them a week. Some of them are first timers. Okay, so I've been in this exact situation. So what you want to do every single practice, and I would encourage them to get there early, but you want to play do four exact the same skills and drills. You want to do the same a rotation of the same four exercises or skills games every single practice. And when I did this with the same age group, all the parents commented, it said their skills and their confidence went through the roof. And it also, I did the same exact thing that I was taught, that I learned at this age from a skills trainer. So this works. I promise you it works. You just do these four things every practice and you're gonna see some improvement. You may not win a whole bunch of games, but you're gonna develop the players. They're gonna have a lot of fun. So the first thing is, I think someone also mentioned it, ideally if you have smaller balls, this will help them improve. It'll make the time more. Smaller skills balls will improve their skills more rapidly. So with that small investment as a coach, if you've got little cash to invest in, $10 for a size 1 or size 2 ball, you want to have them internalize the sequence. So spend after a warm-up, spend 5 to 10 minutes doing this dribbling sequence. It goes outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Right? So ideally everyone has a ball at their feet. You tell them to line up. You could have them line up on the goal post, and normally players always rushing they never want to be last, right? So you want to say you want to make them do it slow, and however you accomplish that is up to you. But ideally, you want to encourage them to say, don't be the first player back, right? You want them to take a lot of touches, right? You want to have them go slow and take their time with it. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. And I want you to have them all say it out loud when they do it. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Right? I call this the Rosetta Stone of dribbling. It's going to help them get their head up and make better decisions. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is the barrel game. So since I had 20 players, and I didn't have that many barrels, what I did was I would put a barrel in the middle of the field, and I would literally have the whole team playing the barrel game. And the barrel game is this. Let me show you. So you get a barrel, and ideally it's ideal if the players are on turf. I did it on a grass field, and it was an unkempt grass field, and it still worked. You want to have the players start with the ball in their hand, so they're all around the barrel in a big circle, right? So just how many players you have, and if they bump into each other, that's okay. They're going to get frustrated with each other, but that's fine. Just tell them to keep playing. And the goal is so that they kick it right with right foot first or left foot first, whatever, bounce it, and you bounce into the barrel. At this point, I was using a much larger barrel. That would be ideal because you want to make it easy in the beginning. You want to make it challenging, but you want to make it fun. You want to make it easy. So I would have all the players go around. The barrel was much bigger, so they did right foot first, then you do left foot first, or left foot second, and left foot, then you do alternating feet. And then if they mess up, right, they're gonna start again. You get the idea. So then alternating right and left feet, and then you do right thigh, then you can do bounce or no bounce. I think it's harder to do a bounce. So then you tell them go with the right thigh. So it's if you can afford more than one barrel, it'll give them some room to operate, which would be ideal. So if you have, even if you got a team of 20, 4 barrels, these are 10, 20 bucks from the local hardware store. I'm sure you could get a couple of bins, throw them in your trunk. Or if they have at your field, you could just have them go toward the garbage can, right? If there's a garbage bin, whatever. Just find anything that they could juggle in a target, right? So right thigh, or even if you have it in their hands, right? If the first time they're ever touching the ball, you could just have them walk it in, right? Just walk it in like that. Right, then left thigh. Then both thighs alternating. And then if they drop it, just like that. And then the last one would be anything that you want. So that's the barrel game. The next thing I would play with them is, so essentially it's only 3 games. So the last thing is you need a cone for each player. Ideally you're using a smaller ball. You have them play 1v1 to knock each other's cone down with a skills ball. And you want the field to be tight so they have a high volume of touches, right? High volume of touches. And this would be the game that you finish, or I'm sorry, this would be one of the last games that you finish on. So this would be the second to last game. Have them play 1v1 to cones. They gotta knock their opponent's cone down, and then you could say play best out of 3, right? So they're a few yards apart, and I found that my players, they responded well to it, right? Some of them were going through the motions, but you know, some you're gonna get some good competition out of the players, and they're gonna start to learn how to post up on each other, and it's gonna improve their skills, right? It's gonna improve their skills. And the last thing you could do is, if you've got time for this, bring big goals in close, so that they're the distance of close, right? Like closer, narrow and close. Bring the goals in very close, set up cones tight, and then let's say you've got 12 players on your team. You basically want to have teams playing against each other to big goals to replicate gameplay, and you want to have the team that's sitting out as bumper players on the outside, right? So it's a game, but it's condensed and it's tight, so they're getting lots of shots on goal, and there's a lot of transition between defensive offense. So it's possession, and it keeps them competitive because the team that's off as bumper players, they want to get on, so they're engaged. They know that the more they help the players on the field, the faster they're going to get on to be able to play. So this naturally sparks some competition. So I think it's a good technique. If you could finish on that, you know, play is essential for humans. So I think that's something that you should finish on. And if you don't have time for that, then finish on the 1v1 to cones, right? Skills, dribbling sequence. You could pair one move, so you could teach them the chop first, right? Teach the chop, or teach them the drag, right? Drag, and then you pair it with the sequence. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, drag, or outside, outside, inside, outside, chop. Outside, outside, inside, outside, chop, right? So you pair any move with the sequence, barrel game, then you go to cones, and then if you got time, play for big games. You do that every practice, and you're gonna see a great improvement in their skills. And then I would send a text message, email to all their parents, and have them if you have their parents, or if you yourself bring this to practice. This is a skills kick trainer. It's going to help them improve their touch, both their feet, balance, timing, rhythm, coordination for $20. You could mention it. You say, hey, this is a great tool to help improve their game, and then and then maybe some will pick it up, some won't, and then the ones that do pick it up, you'll see great improvements in their game. So that's what I would do, and I hope this helps, and thanks for your time. Okay.